In 1914, the world stood on the edge of chaos. But what really caused World War I? Was it just one event or years of growing tension? Before the war, Europe looked peaceful on the surface, but underneath, serious problems were building. Countries were increasing their armies, preparing for war even when peace still existed. This growing military power is called militarism, a dangerous competition to become stronger than others. At the same time, countries formed alliances, promising to protect each other in times of war. These alliances divided Europe into two major groups, each side ready to defend its partners. Nationalism also played a role. People believed their country was better than others. Countries competed for colonies and power, trying to expand their influence across the world. The Balkans became a region full of tension, with many different groups fighting for control. Many people wanted independence, but powerful empires refused to let go. Then came a moment that changed everything, a single event that triggered a global reaction. Archduke Franz Ferdinand was assassinated during a visit to Sarajevo in 1914. This shocking event spread fear and anger across many countries in Europe. Austria-Hungary responded quickly by declaring war on Serbia. Because of alliances, other nations were pulled in, one by one, joining the conflict. Soon the war spread across the continent, turning a small conflict into a global crisis. Millions of soldiers were sent to fight, believing the war would end quickly, but instead they found themselves in trenches, fighting in long and difficult conditions. The trenches were muddy, cold, and dangerous, with constant threat from enemy attacks. Battles were intense and deadly, with heavy losses on both sides. New weapons made the war even more dangerous. Machine guns and artillery caused massive damage. Poison gas was introduced, creating fear and suffering among soldiers. Tanks were developed to break through defenses, changing how battles were fought. Airplanes were used for the first time, turning the skies into battle zones. The war spread beyond Europe, involving countries from around the world. Civilians also suffered greatly, facing shortages of food and resources. Factories worked day and night, producing weapons and supplies for war. Women stepped into new roles, supporting industries and communities. The war continued for years, far longer than anyone expected. Soldiers became exhausted, losing hope as the fighting dragged on. Eventually, new countries joined the war, bringing fresh energy to one side. This shifted the balance of power, giving one side a stronger advantage. The final battles began, pushing toward an end of the conflict. In 1918, a ceasefire was declared, and the fighting finally stopped. People celebrated the end of war, hoping for peace at last. But the destruction was everywhere. Cities and lives had been shattered. Millions of people had lost their lives, leaving a deep mark on history. Leaders came together to create peace, signing agreements to end the conflict. However, not all countries were satisfied. Some felt the terms were unfair. Even after the war, tensions remained, quietly building once again. So what really caused World War I? It was not just one single event. Militarism increased fear and competition, pushing countries closer to conflict. Alliances turned small conflicts into large ones, pulling many nations into war. Nationalism created strong rivalries, making cooperation more difficult. Imperialism increased competition for power as nations fought for control of land, and the assassination acted as the spark that ignited all these tensions. Together, these factors led to war, a conflict that spread across the world. World War I changed history forever, shaping the future of many nations. It reminds us of the importance of peace and the dangers of rising tensions. By understanding the past, we learn valuable lessons so we can build a better, more peaceful future.